I'm all up in my head about it. Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. I tell you what, YouTube, no. I said horizontal. If you can't manage horizontal, that's your friggin' problem. Show everybody me at a 90-degree orientation off from where I said I was going to be. I don't care. YouTube, I'm telling you now, piss off. No, I don't want to stop streaming. I want you to do your job. What is happening? Fucking hell, man. They just make everything miserable, don't they? It is just difficult for difficult sake. Hello. I hope you're good. Question for you. Could you let me know if I'm 90 degrees off right now or not? Because I told YouTube to set this up horizontally, and it's decided that I'm in the wrong apparently. I've got a notification on my screen saying turn it round. So yeah, if you could let me know if I'm right way up to you guys, that'd be great. Anyway, while I'm finding out that information, I'm finishing up Nigel today. He's been one of them. He's been one of them fellas, as he tends to be. He was like this last year. So Nige came in for a coolant flush and an MOT. And all fairly procedural, really. If you saw the big video on the Patreon, we changed the water pump. You can see my face, that's excellent news. That means the camera's pointing the right way around at least. Is it landscape rather than portrait? Because YouTube's adamant that I've got the camera the wrong way, like orientated the wrong way. Anyway, yes, so last time it was just a simple water pump thermostat, did all that stuff. And away he went. And he came back needing 1, 2, 3 bits of big welding. I'm landscape. Excellent, thank you. So YouTube's trying to make me think that I'm in the wrong, but I'm not. I appreciate you, thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, so he needed 3 lots of welding. Headlight aim too low near side. Handbrake, service brake binding, both at the back. And a pair of steering rack gaiters. Now, my least favourite job in the world on a classic car, for the most part, is normally steering rack gaiters. Another. Hey, it's the van, TM. Hello. Oh. Just missed a comment there. Sorry, the old disappearing. It's out of interest. Are you looking to start the videos for those, especially the younger generation, to service and rebuild an engine? 10-year-old daughter's interested. That's amazing news. Nice one. I encourage away. That is amazing. I don't know if it's any help. I actually have a video, a two video set on here about rebuilding a Datsun 280Z engine. There's a lot of pointers in there, but if that doesn't quite, I suppose for a younger audience, it might be an idea for me to start from the very, very start and explain how and why of certain bits and bobs. Yeah, good idea. But yeah, I was in the process Saturday, funnily enough, of filming the next Saturday Club as well. So just a couple of bits to do on that. I'm very, very proud of it. I think it's going to be really helpful, hopefully. Started stripping your Mark 1 GTR yesterday. There we go. See, I suppose in fairness, my job is essentially me skiving off work to work on cars. Yeah. What else is happening here currently? So let me take a look. I'm starting a 1.2 litre course, so that's really cool. Oh, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you so much. Yeah, obviously, if you've got any questions or there's anything you're unsure about, please do put them in the comments, because I work heavily based on you guys' feedback. What you ask for is generally what I try and put into videos. But yeah, best of luck to you. I'm sure you'll be right as rain. If I can build it in my garage with a few beers with a mate at 21 and that engine's still running, then fingers crossed everybody can do the same. And I'm really dumb, so yeah, the clipper's going well. We're waiting on a handbrake cable for this, but I've just rebuilt the Peerberg. There's a how to strip and rebuild a Peerberg video coming, just a bit more fleshed out and a bit more. I'm not. Hello everybody. How are you? Like I was on those original Peerberg videos. So that's done. Been through the brakes. It lost all its brake fluid. So it's a cool little thing though. I like the yellow headlights. And that's off for MOT, but I rebuilt all the brakes, found out where all the brake fluid went. It was a popped wheel cylinder. Fixed all of that. Last job was to adjust the handbrake cable, and I went click, 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 snap. Handbrake cable broke. So thankfully the owner's got one, but he's posting it because he's flat out at work, so he hasn't got a chance to bring it down. Yeah, Nige is being a bit of a bugger, but we're on the tail end of that now. Just got to do the. The original Peerberg videos aren't going to be going anywhere. Don't worry, I'm keeping them there because this is sort of a kind of like an addendum to it, rather than hello lettuce, rather than replacing the old ones. I'm going to keep those up because as crap as I am in front of the camera, some of the information on there is really handy, and I can't explain it any way. I can't explain it better any other way than how I explained it in those videos. So they'll stay, don't worry. What else is happening? Oh, so the Brookie, that 280 Turbo Technics that I diagnosed the stalling fault on, hoping that's going off for pre-MOT sometime this week, and hopefully go. That fired up yesterday, day before. It still sounds so good. Golf's running. There's a 300 horsepower Vauxhall Nova over there. It's got a red top in it. That's off. Well, the head's off having valve guides installed at the moment. I think that might be ready to pick up, actually. And then the engine can go back together on that. What else is happening? Ted was supposed to go on the lift last week, and then this fiasco happened with the handbrake cable. So he's next in line on the lift. Nigel, everything can be done on a jack. The GTX sunroof is I'm filming it. It's underway, as you can see from sunroof lead. He has broken guide plate. He's had a very bad day of it. What else has happened? The workshop's very tidy and organised. Oh, you accidentally bought your dream car last year. Delta Integrale came as part of the deal. What a win! What do you reckon on 1.4 CVH? Escort Radfan continuously on with the ignition switches. Check out okay. Potentially a short in the wiring. Hello, not Mark Knopfler. How you doing? Yeah, potentially a wiring issue there, I think. What have we got going on outside? So, we're quite busy out here at the moment. We've got Maverick, obviously. I'm working on Maverick. Well, currently figuring out Maverick. Best Camper is here. Belongs to a lovely fella that he's as much of a synthesizer. Well, he's a professional synthesizer player, so to call him as much of a synth nerd as me is frankly an insult. But anytime that thing comes down here, it's hello Becky. Yeah, anytime that thing comes down here, it's 50% talking about what needs doing on it, 50% talking about synths. He's currently restoring an ARP Quadra at the moment, and yeah, so that was the latest topic of conversation. New guest. There will probably be a video on that. Lovely couple. They come from about an hour away. Got a 16 valve over there. I'm going to be doing a whole video set on. Currently tracking down the stock relay would be a shout as well. Yeah, currently tracking down some calipers for the 16 valve, and it is a 16 valve. It was one of the originals. It's been reshelled. Right. Now I feel like a bit of a knob standing here talking to my phone. But I don't know if you can see. Can you see what I see? The Rascal's back. The Rascal's here finally. You know what that means? We're underway. Hopefully, from tomorrow afternoon, we'll be able to make a start on what I think is going to be a very fun and very exciting video that's going to also be an absolute bastard to edit. But yeah. So that Bedford Rascal, the van TM, because your name gets said in full every time. So that Bedford Rascal belongs to my oldest and dearest friend, Farm Boy, and he's the guy with the Impian. But that was his first rig, and the stories go on and on and on about the two, and basically I don't want to over-explain it, because by the time the video comes out, you'll be like, yeah, I've heard this. Skip ahead, but that's been off the road the same amount of time as Carla has. So we got it towed over here. When was that? That was Saturday. That was Saturday. Yes, that's where the footage. So the Saturday Club footage I have so far was filmed then, and I've just got some bits I need to fill in. Yeah, so it came over then, and we got it started again. There is a video of us doing that on the channel originally. But it hasn't run in a year, because life has just been crazy roller coaster ride. Rob did not, unfortunately, buy the other Elmira, as far as I know. But we're going to need to sort Rob out with something for an upcoming road trip, 100%. Yeah, so we are absolutely, Pentagram, we are going to be resurrecting the Rascal. We're going to go one further than resurrecting the Rascal. I don't think I'm spoiling anything here. I think I may have already told you guys this, but it's going to be quite hectic, but great fun. So, obviously you guys know, well, hopefully most of you guys will by this point know about Carla. I know Albert is sort of the celebrity of the channel, but the channel all started with Carla the Scala. They were both off the road in the same spot for the same amount of time, Carla and the Bedford Rascal. So, basically, the plan is get them both running and driving around site, make sure the brakes work. Then we're going to both book them in back to back for an MOT at Steve's. When they come back round, we're going to see what they failed on. And we're going to have a week, well, 10 days to get them back through their MOTs so they pass and they're roadworthy. And then we need to prove them, because Carla is my wife's old daily and she wants to go back to driving it again. And it needs to be reliable. I'm not going to give her back an unreliable car, obviously. So we're going to drive them from here to where the van was registered. And then from where the van was registered to where Carla was registered. And then from where Carla was registered, back home again. And it's going to be about 500 miles. Oh, yeah, somebody just pointed out, it is bright in here, isn't it? Look at me. Look at me. I've actually got lighting. And, I don't know, you guys like a little hack, don't you? So, because I can't tell which light switch does what, that one doesn't do anything and never has. That's the 4 outer ones and that's the 3 down the middle. And the reason I've done that is that I have my outer 4 lights, I've got them really yellow as far as the colour temperature, because that is much nicer on camera than this. That's really white and neutral. So if I put them together, it's just really nice and bright in here. But when I'm filming, for the most part, I have the colour temperature set quite warm. Plus, also, it looks like an old garage, and I'd much prefer that. This is not one of those establishments that needs the honeycomb LEDs. It's not my jam. It's not my thing. Yeah, I mean, so we've got lighting. I'm just basically goofing off. I'm going to make a coffee. I've got rear brakes to do on Nigel. I might keep you guys around for that if everybody's enjoying themselves. Just the French headlights are yesteryear. Yeah, absolutely agreed. I need to call someone out / thank them. You are absolutely right, by the way. This old boy is cracked to fuck, and I don't know where it is. I think it's through the handle, but I hear it. Ever since somebody pointed that out on the Saturday Club intro, I now hear that the mug's cracked. Right, Any good? Filming at 24 FPS, stops my video strobing like crazy. Yeah, so what's interesting is I've managed to land myself a really cheap, quite nice DSLR camera. Actually, as it turns out, sort of a lot of the early Car Throttle stuff was filmed on the same model, I later found out. But that films at 25 FPS. And my phone tries to film at 30 and it can't quite manage it. DaVinci Resolve, when I bring the footage in off my phone, DaVinci Resolve obviously automatically sets its frame rate to 29.97 FPS, which I'm pretty sure is some old broadcasting standard. Might be for film or television, I don't know. Somebody out there will know more than me. But, weirdly, dropping 5-ish frames a second has not only meant I no longer have any strobing with these fellas, but also, for the first time ever yesterday, get the party poppers out, I rendered out a rush edit of the new Saturday Club video in less time than the runtime of the video. Normally, the fastest I can manage is 1:1, but it's usually slower. But yesterday, because of the 24 FPS, obviously, the software then drags the phone footage down to 24 FPS as well. Just losing those few frames made such a difference. I have to head off to work. Oh. Fucking chat keeps disappearing. It's so annoying. Cool. See you soon, the Van TM. But yeah. No, like I said, I don't know. I've had not to overshare, I've been in a bit of a rut lately, and I'm having a very, very good, very productive day, and I've stopped for a break because one of these, my fingertips have gone sort of numb anyway, but that fella there, I was knocking one of the lock nuts off of Nigel's track rod end. I may or may not have missed the spanner completely with my hand and fingertip punched the inside of the wheel arch, and it is hurting like a bitch. So yeah, but no, it's all going all right, I think. Oh yeah, check it. You'll see what whoever left that comment. You were absolutely on the money. Listen, but and that's Ian's mug. Not Ian, it's not his actual mug, but Ian had that mug made, so you know it's going to be a half decent mug. Yes, but I'm still drinking out of it for two reasons. I'm a ride it till the wheels fall off kind of guy, and this was given to me by the Scirocco Register for free. It's a misprint, and they posted this and one other one out for me and Logan. When it got here, the other one was smashed, so I kind of feel obligated to use it now. Just gonna have a brew. Do I plan on offering lessons to help others look after their car? Might to amount. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing currently a Saturday Club video on how to daily a classic car, and there's a little bit of that involved in that. Then there'll be how to break down safely. And how to go on a road trip. So there'll be bits of info picked up there. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's really tricky for me to know what you guys want to see outside of Albert videos, obviously. But yeah, I don't know what you guys need from me as a channel, unless you say in the comments. So yeah, let me know. Yeah, exactly. They sent me a parts mug. was able to take cuts from it. But what else? Yeah. Oh, so this was a Christmas present, but I'm pondering offering these. When you get yours, the writing will be the correct way around. Yeah. Thing is, I used to live in a baggy beanie, but I can't wear these for long now. I get a headache. So they also got me, which I will definitely be offering, but I want to get them made with a screw lid. But yeah, I don't know if that's. Oh yeah, merch sold like absolute fucking hotcakes after the Albert video. I must remember. I need to start actually filming the fact that I'm selling stuff. It is so off-putting having that on the screen, but it's just going to be there. So. Let me just sit. Sorry, guys. Bear with me 1 second. Right. Hang on a minute. I think I might have figured this out. Come on, you little shit. I think I'm probably side on to you guys right now. My phone seems to think. Right. Okay. YouTube's just busted. So. I won't bore you there. I find your approach super useful, friendly, honest, and educational. Stuff like carbs terrify me, along with timing belts. Oddly, just simple stuff like safe places to jack up and other stuff. Absolutely, that's all stuff I could do. I really hope that YouTube keeps the chat for this, because I can keep an eye out then. Keep seeing those plasma cutters for 90 quid in certain supermarket. Trying to justify buying one. Yeah, I mean the way I look at it is if I use it once and it goes bang, then it was worth a look. But yeah, I mean I've had let me go and get them. I got bought for Christmas for Merry Chrysler just some work lamps, and they're Parkside, so they're Lidl or EBDB as me and my wife call them, and and he's magnetic, and normal torch, but if you press the unlock button, a frigger tips forward, man. And best part is, yes, it's a present, but I know that somebody hasn't gone out and spent hundreds on a snap-on one. If, like has happened so many times across workshops across the country, someone reverses over this fucker because I forgot to pick it up, I'll be sad and I'll need one, but it won't be the end of the world. So, guys like your inspiration. A few days ago, I got the courage up to change it. Oh man, that really, really means a lot. That's all I want to do from it, really, is give people information, maybe a couple of laughs, and hopefully the confidence to... I mean, I had no fucking idea what I was doing when I started. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I've got no paperwork, no qualifications, nothing. I learned by doing. And it was terrifying, but Parkside stuff is surprisingly good for the money. I totally agree. I don't see a problem with it. But yeah, that really means a lot. Like, just that it's helpful in any way is, I don't know. I think YouTube's quite an overcrowded place anyway. Automotive YouTube is probably, it's a tough one between automotive YouTube and like Let's Players. Look at his bum, unreal. Sorry. Look at this bum, unreal. Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, I do have that on the go. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with my hair at the moment, but it's like Play-Doh. Doesn't matter how much I wash it. I think I might have overdone it. What do you reckon? Yeah, it's time for a haircut soon. Yeah, so what was I was on a biggest bum on YouTube. So I lost the comment now. There was somebody else. Brian? Was it Brian? Oh no, yeah, Parkside stuff being surprisingly good for money. Yeah, I totally agree. Sometimes you just need a torch, for example. The sills are mostly rust. How do I spot a chassis leg? Yeah, I mean, we can do all sorts of stuff like that. I'm interested to know LKJMNBVX. That's an excellent username, that is. Anyway, I've got quite a lot going on, quite a lot of irons in the fire, to be honest. So I think the T2's in for just bits, but one thing that's interesting is on the way over here, it lost all dash electrics. So that's going to be an interesting one. 1 second, folks. Give me 2 ticks. There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. I just had to delete an insufferable cunt. Anyway, as I don't do that very often, but fellow was trying to get a rise out of me rather than giving him what he wanted. I just figured I'd. Oh, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah. I've been trying to grow my hair out, but I think I might have got rid of it too late in the day. I think I should have left it long, and I think now I've cut it off, I think I'm gonna struggle, to be honest. The flower bed's a touch patchy. Yeah, what I was saying before was about YouTube being overcrowded. It's massively overcrowded. Particularly I would say it's either automotive YouTubers and Let's Players are 2 markets that are properly saturated. Simone, just the person. Give me 1 second, guys. There it is. Right, a very special thank you to Simone at Hooked on Classics. Unbelievably kind. Just outright did not need to do this. Simone found and bought a replacement indicator lens for Albert, which was extraordinarily kind. It's in fucking great condition as well. So Albert's, I'm hoping to repair them and at least have them as spares. Albert's are both smashed off here, and as you can see, that's quite a heavy bit of patination. It's quite a tricky thing to try and match in. So rather than that being an absolute pain in the balls, Simone very kindly, out of the blue, sent me an indicator lens. I hope your sticker arrived, by the way, Simone. I did send it. But I've had a couple of people get in touch to say their sticker is taking ages, which isn't like me. I ship them out the same day normally. But yes, thank you. Much appreciated. If you guys are interested in cars that you have to save because you want to, check out Hooked on Classics, because it is a awesome channel. I really enjoy it. And I was quite taken aback actually when Simone got in touch. Glad to help. Sticker arrived safe. Brilliant. That's awesome. I've got fucking hell. I've never done a live stream where the chat's moving this fast. I don't think. There's so many people. Oh, Lettuce pointed out that I used the phrase "getting a rise." Yeah. You know you've made it when you got trolls. He wasn't very good at it either. Absolutely. Simone, Tom Classics. Sorry guys, bear with. Just dedicating all three of my brain cells to catching up. I absolutely have plans to show Albert off when complete. In fact, considering you guys took the time to pop up on this live stream in the middle of the day, I might share a couple of ideas that I've had with regards Albert. If you're up for it, I definitely want to go. Yeah, TC is awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be taking Albert to Rustival at some point when he's done. I fear that might be a ways off yet. Where's it? There was a comment I was in the middle of reading. Second comment would be an inspiration. Being a chat with autism and horrendous anxiety. Watching your videos give me inspiration. That's really, really, it's just a fucking great feeling, that knowing that. For what it's worth, I also suffer terribly with anxiety. So you're not alone. And yeah, the thought that any of my shitty little videos has helped somebody with something like that is fucking brilliant. And I'm of the opinion that if you're not doing that, there's no point. It's I just think that basically with a lot of YouTube channels, they try too hard to copy other channels, and I can't be fucking arsed with any of that. Well, got right off topic there. What was I going to say? Albert. So I've been thinking. Let me get a picture of an ambassador. So I'm thinking. Obviously, is our goal. Very nice. Very cool, very good, very nice. I can't help but feel that a finished ambassador, I might or might not have zapped another troll, yeah, sorry about that. I like, when it comes to dickheads, the best thing you can do, it's like a fly. You just go. Anyway, what was I saying? Because then they don't get the satisfaction. Albert on bags, Richard, you're almost on the money. Yeah, please go and check out TC, by the way. Just fucking awesome. And if anybody can just watch Simone's channel, because TC's awesome. And if anybody out there is able to help facilitate get that car back on the road, please do. So my plan for Albert is I would very much like to put him on slot mags on one condition, that we keep the same shit offset where the wheels are tucked into the body for two reasons. That's actually a safety thing. Hydrogas cars were built like that so that if the suspension collapsed, the wheels would go up inside the wheel arches and still allow you to turn. So that's good. Paint-wise, I've made a decision. Now, I think it'd be criminal to try and hide where that car came from. That's not what the point of the car is. The point of the car is this car was fucked and I saved it anyway. So, from the belt line down, I'm going to paint like a coppery bronze colour as a callback to the rust. I'm going to keep the top gold, the factory goldy beige colour. So that'll be the first thing. Slot mags, because I just desperately want them on slot mags, and I can refurb the original wheels, and if I don't like it, I can put them back. But something I've been thinking about, and I've been doing a lot of research into pressures and regulating valves and all that sort of hoopla, is rather than bags, because Albert is a hydrogas car, which is a very, very comfy thing to drive, and I want to keep the comfiness. Rather than being on bags, I very much want to try and build a hidden system into the hydrogas so I can pull up to a show. I want to try and recreate how he looked in that opening shot of the first video when he'd collapsed on the forecourt out the front. So you pull into a show, flip a switch, let all the fluid out of the hydrogas system, and he goes right down onto his guts. Wheels tucked up into the arches with the coppery bronze band around the lower waistline so that it's a nice callback to how the car looked when it was first here. And then the idea is, ideally, with a pumping system, you could turn on a set of really powerful pumps and pump the suspension back up to the correct preset pressure. Hydrogas back. That's the plan. I don't know how I'm going to pull it off, but I think I may be considering looking into, I don't know, maybe the regulating valve from a SM parts are stupidly expensive, but you know, that sort of thing. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. Like somebody just very, very rightly pointed out, Citroen managed it. I don't mean that as in, oh, well, if Citroen can do it, because Citroen were some of the most genius engineers on the face of the earth for a very long time. But what I'm saying is, Citroen managed it. Why can't we do it with a hydrogas car? Because the idea of hydrogas is great. I'm thinking, really, all you need is, because the lines run front to back, so left and front and rear, for example. I'm thinking all you need is basically to tee off at the center of the line and come up into like a reservoir with a pump to send it back out again. We've got so far to go before we're in that, but that's where I want to do it. And then I want to call it the Slambassador. Oh, up and down might be able to help with that. Yeah, that's worth a shout. There is one thing, in all seriousness, and that's that I get horribly nervous about approaching people. So, yeah, it would be cool to put Albert on the dyno and see him make all 3 horsepower. I don't know about performance mods because he's an auto, and I like the idea of the auto as well. Like, it seems very fitting that a car with armchairs for seats. You can pump them up manually. Yeah, absolutely. That's how you refurb them. Electric pump, set of height sensors. You got it. See, I love that you guys are smelling what I'm stepping in. That's great. I'm thinking we make the Slambassador happen. But yeah, to all intents and purposes, going down the road, it is just a standard Austin Ambassador with a 2-tone paint job, which obviously, as far as I know, they never did them with. But it's asking for it, look, because it's got the fucking body line all the way around the car. And Albert does have that too. So I'm thinking probably, yeah, set of pumps. Cool. Yeah, it's Yeah, I'm just interested to see where we go. But like I say, we've got a ways off yet. I'm sorry to say, I still have not had a chance to put his engine back together. The weather has just been diabolical. I've done a better job of protecting the engine this time. But yeah, so just so you know, live as it happened sort of thing is... I'm going to go outside quickly and have a ciggy. So, yeah, he's still here. He hasn't moved. What else is there that I would... So what I really want to do at the moment, the main priority is obviously getting running. I think the transmission might be cooked. When it got here, there was no fluid in the transmission. If the transmission's cooked, then maybe I look at a manual conversion. But I'd very much prefer to keep it auto, to be honest. I need to go and find the... I found the model number of the Borg Warner transmission that they use. And I need to get digging and see if there are any... whatchamacallits? My brain's cooked. Did the can of zinc... Right. Did the can of zinc primer sort the rust out on the rascal? Was still one of the funniest things Farm Boy's ever said. It sorts the rust out. You tell me, Lettuce. Don't worry. It's protected. Sooty is quite rightly taking up his slot. Just refilling the box will bring it back to life. Can't be that complicated. Hopefully, it's a Borg Warner unit. In fairness, they're pretty fucking stout. I think what happened is when they quite animalistically dragged it out of the hedge, they then chucked it onto a forklift and dragged it into a yard. And I think when they lifted the front end up, because obviously the front end had collapsed, I think when they did that, they might have punched a hole in the transmission pan. I'm hoping that's what it is. It'd be nice. But the thing that concerns me, and why I'm so keen to get the engine running, we still don't know why that car was parked. Did it get parked? Did it go in for a service or an MOT, and then the garage went under? Because it came from an abandoned garage. All legitimately, but it came from an abandoned garage. And yeah, did it fail that? Or did it go in there needing some terminal work and the owners decided it wasn't worth it? We won't know until we've run the engine. And at that point, once we've run the engine, we've got to see if the transmission works, haven't we? So, all the best cars are in a hedge. Yeah, absolutely. Like 90% of the Capris that are on the road. They've all been in a hedge at some point. It's like the age-old adage of 70s Fords, where there are two types of Fords, in my opinion, from the 70s. Fords that have been smoked in, and Fords that are being sold to you by somebody who's lying to you. Yeah, that's the only thing that's been bugging me about it was it parked because of something major, or 40 years? I didn't know TC had been sat that long. That's crazy. How have I missed that? Did you mention that in the video? Because did I blank on that? I hate it when I do that. That's going to be one of those pieces of information that was right up front, and my brain just went, nah, that's all right, we won't have that. I hate it when that happens. The Rover's going back on the road. Again, upcoming video, I've started filming it, but you can see I'm spinning a lot of plates at the moment. The Rocco's head gasket's gone. There, I said it. I ripped the plaster off. This keeps airlocking itself. Hasn't overheated yet, but it's not comfy knowing that that's happening, and I can't do it to it. But the good news is that may lead me on to doing something I've always wanted to do with that car, which is how much power can a standard 8-valve carbed engine make while still running a Peerberg? How much power could a standard 8-valve engine still make while running 2 standard Peerbergs? Because they've got vacuum assisted secondaries. That's very loud. Oh, it's Steve. He didn't see me. fair enough. Um, yeah, I'm thinking with a rorty cam and perhaps some sort of maybe supercharger. We might be able to still run Peerbergs. I've been looking over it, and I don't see why not. I don't see why it can't be done. The intake manifold situation is going to be interesting because obviously everything's crammed in the engine. Feature creep already, which is exactly why I've put off doing this. I do like the idea. Oh, Integrale was HF Turbo. Turbo impeller in the exhaust is never a good day. That hurts. That hurts to read. Yeah, I'm thinking about possibly bringing the intake runners round to the sides of the engine because I always wanted to experiment with the tunnel ram style of intake, and I think coupling that with forced induction could make for quite a spicy engine. And I love the idea of it still running a Peerberg. What a middle finger that is. But before we do that, this year is the year where every single car that is in my fleet gets a birthday. They all get everything done. The Rocco, if I'm taking it off the road again, this time it's all four corners, all the bushes, suspension, all new bearings, and then rebuild the engine. I'm just going to rebuild the engine completely. Start again. It's done really, really well. And it got me through so many hard times where I'm like, sorry, no oil change this year because I can't afford it. It's done that for so many years now. Now I'm in a position to just having the space to be able to blow the car completely apart. But yeah, Lettuce has been thinking about the tunnel ram Peerberg idea as well. Yeah, basically it's time. There comes a point where you can expect a lot from something before you're the one that's taking the piss. So that's going to happen. Maggie is finally going to get a timing belt. That max wedge type, or maybe I was thinking more like Plymouth's marketing slang for it was the Sonoramic Commando engine, which had 30-inch intake runners. It gave them a massive torque increase at, I think, 2,500 RPM. Just through virtue of the air pumping back off the back of the valves and then on its way rebounding from behind the throttle, it would then pull fuel air mixture in. You never know. It might work. It might immediately go pop. So I'm going to have to tread lightly because it's the original engine. It's a numbers matching car and I'd feel like a real asshole if I blew that up. So I want it to be reversible as well, ideally, within reason, obviously. Yeah, what else? Dead Dodge Garage is one of my favourite channels on YouTube. I love his no bullshit approach. Him and what the fuck is that guy's channel called? It does my head in. He's like I don't know if I've got many Ave watchers in the comments, but basically Ave back in the vintage when he was in his garage working with a lathe and a clapped out Bridgeport. There's another guy. Fuck, I can't remember for the life of me what the name of his channel is. I've completely blanked on that. I don't think he's Canadian. I think he lives in like Minnesota or somewhere like that. His videos all start with a drone shot coming down and into his garage, and he stood with his back to the workbench. He is hysterically funny. Love that dude. If anybody knows the channel I'm talking about, please let me know in the comments because that's going to piss me off now. Yeah, so I mean that's what's going on at HQ at the moment, really. I'm going to go and get these brakes finished on Nigel in a second. Look Mum No. Oh, Look Mum No Engine. So that's Sam from Look Mum No Computer fame, I believe. I'm sure did he start a new channel? His museum is unfucking believable. Kyle, does Albert need a bumper bar? I don't know. At the moment. The reason I don't know is because I still need to put the I still need to put the front end back together before I start looking at any of that. I want to try and keep as many original parts as I can. So if we can repair the bumper, brilliant. Although I'm interested to know what happened with the front bumper, because it was on the car in the listing. Then the next time I saw the car, the whole front end had been pulled off, and I think they were just really fucking rough. So something else, I don't know if I showed you in the original video, was they broke the steering lock so they could move it. But in breaking the steering lock, they also fucked both of the stalks. I'm going to repair them because, again, I want to try and keep it original. But they broke both the stalks, and then 10 minutes after doing that, they found the key, which I've lost. Never mind. I don't have to worry about the steering lock. Yeah, so they were not kind to Albert when they moved him. I was pretty pissed off. Simon Fordman. Why does that ring a bell? Why does Simon Fordman ring a bell? This is driving me mad. I'm gonna have to look it up. What's it? It's something engineer, I think. Has anybody remembered his name yet? Just hotwire it, it'll be grand. Well, I think that's probably what they were planning on doing if they were going to get it running, considering the rest of the way they worked on it. I'm pretty sure every tool that went near that car was either a shovel or a hammer. All for the sake of a pair of wheel dollies. So, wheel dollies will not work to move him from where he's sitting right now. I know because he's currently on a set of wheel dollies underneath. Only the two, mind. But the reason I put him on a pair of wheel dollies under the chassis was because I wasn't sure what sort of condition the radius arms at the back were in and all that sort of stuff. So, long story short, the ground out there is so rough, it can't be rolled around on those wheel dollies. It took us 4 hours and 3 of us to move Albert to where he's sitting now, because he was 90 degrees on from the fall. Russell, the guy who recovered the car, fucking legend, by the way, the only guy I'll have moving cars for me now. He pulled up out front. The forklift guy from Grant and Stone, for a case of Foster's, came down with his forklift and lifted Albert off. Russell moved the truck and he drove forward onto the forecourt and put it down. So that shot is looking down the hill. And then we got the car in the air through crunching and cracking and all sorts of other horrible noises, supported it as best we could under the sump at one end and the rear subframe at the back. And then we're able, between the 3 of us, over 4 hours, taking it easy, stopping just in case it was good. Because I still didn't know how structurally sound the car was. Worked it round like that. And then when we got it to where it needed to be on the forecourt, it went fa-dump. And it's at that point I realised that the tarmac is that much down from the concrete pad directly outside the front of the building. And by that point, it was too late. The good news is, when he went kadunk to the point that there is a gap like that between my door being open with the bolt in the ground to stop it blowing around and Albert's ass. So, yeah, thankfully there's enough room. What stud pattern is Albert? I did look it up. It's a fairly standard. I found it. I think I'll be able to find it now, but I did find it. I might stick it in the Discord server. Still haven't fully figured out how to do the Discord server. I think it might be in the description now, by the way. I did try. But yeah, he's a display piece, exactly. He's my my own special charming way of getting myself kicked out of here if the cover ever blows off. Yada, yeah, exactly that. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to find the info without sitting here in complete silence, but... Oh, that's the jacking points. They're gone. They're long gone. He's got a folding armrest on his back seat. I bet you mine hasn't. So another interesting thing, and it's going to take some thinking, I actually need to find out what Albert is. Because I have watched Quarterlight, who his channel's fucking great as well, by the way. I've watched all the Quarter Lights videos about the Ambassador. I've watched multiple videos about Austin Ambassadors. I've looked up brochures. I've gone through manuals. And Albert doesn't have any common features to any of the trim levels. So, for example, he's got body mouldings down the side, but no passenger mirror. And it's a factory passenger mirror delete. It's not those two things are mutually exclusive. The L, which is the car that came with no passenger mirror, the base model of that era, that came with no passenger mirror and no door mouldings. You couldn't spec them. He's got the door mouldings and they're factory, but he's got a passenger mirror delete. He's got keep fit windows. Let me get this. I'm trying to remember the exact specs now. He's got keep fit windows, no electric windows, but he has got the door pockets, or he hasn't. No, he hasn't got the door pockets. There's loads of stuff where if you go through the spec sheet or spec list, what you could, how they're like, right, you can have these options with this trim level. There's loads of shit that he should have but doesn't, and that he shouldn't have but does. So, like, for example, being the 2 litre immediately puts him into the higher trim levels. But all the higher trim levels came with a passenger mirror. So, and he's really early. So I'm wondering if it's either just the usual. Apparently, when a car came down the production line, stuff. Yeah, well, that's another good point, Pentagram. Absolutely. Yeah, so okay, he had the door pocket. Right, that might be it, Lettuce. I think he had the door pockets, but he's got keep fit windows, and they should be mutually exclusive. But it's impossible to know. But we'll go through. I'm sure there'll be some sort of info somewhere on the car. We still don't know what's in the glove box. But another thing I was wondering about is, could he have potentially been a press car? He's early, like early. So he might be special. You never know. Or he's just a shit old Austin Ambassador that nobody wants, and I'm still going to save him anyway. I don't care. He's special to me. That's all that matters. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't add up about him. Could be a cut and shut. Yeah, display car could be anything like that. Because obviously they were wanting their money's worth out of the Ambassador, and they never got it. Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. HL next level up and had the twin carbs. So, but Albert is single carb from the factory, and the HL is the one that had the body mouldings, and the L was no body mouldings. Find some old road test, might be. You never know. Do you know? I spent. Do you want a little window into how unbelievably sad I am? I spent an entire evening on YouTube a while back just looking at mostly silent Super 8 footage of Pontypridd, because that's where the car always lived, and I've learned to pronounce it vaguely correctly now, I think, from the 80s through to 2000. And I sat there for hours and hours and hours just watching people driving around this Welsh town on the off chance that Albert's there somewhere. I'm so desperate to know what the deal is. Yeah. Fucking hell, they're crazy. Yeah, right. So it actually, now I'm looking at this, 1.7 HL. No, 1.7L. Hang on. Yeah. Right. 1.7L, 1.7 HL, 2 litre HL. So that immediately you go, HL would be, 2 litre HL would be upper trim level. Upper trim level and still no passenger mirror? Upper trim level and keep fit windows? It's hard to know. I might be talking a load of old bobbins, I usually am, but it's interesting, isn't it? It's a cool thought exercise that he might be special. I'm glad it's not just me. I wonder if the fact that he's an auto makes any difference spec-wise. Interesting to know. Really interesting. I think the only way we're going to find out, folks, to be honest with you, is I'm going to have to bite the bullet and buy a couple of brochures, I think. But the X Reg would put him into 82. 80. Oh no. Y Reg would be 83, wouldn't it? No, it wouldn't be 83. It would be late 83. An A Reg would be late 83, early 84, because Klaus was an early 84 on an A plate. Gladys is an 83 on an A plate. I know that for a fact because they stopped doing the single wiper cars at the tail end of 83. Gladys is a single wiper car. So Y gets us back to 82, which is the first year of production, isn't it? So he's in 81, really fucking early then, just before 82. Oh, hang on. Pentagram's got a BL birth certificate. I think Matt from Furious Driving did a video from their archive. I didn't know that was a thing. I know you can do that for VWs, but I didn't know it was a thing. Did that with my Beetle, found him on the front of a classic car magazine. Yeah. You know what I mean? Could you imagine? After all this time, if that's... It'd be a sad way for a car with that sort of lineage to have ended up, but would be. He's a dark horse. Is all I'm saying. He's a dark horse. So Pentagram's got a great fucking shout there, and that's what I'm going to be doing in a second. I think when I come off of here, I'm going to look that up. I can't. I'm skiving. I've been skiving too long. This was meant to only be a quick one, but you guys are fucking fascinating to talk to. I always end up learning. I always end up learning something. GTI is an X on 1981. Yeah, that makes sense. So Mark 1 Scirocco GTI or Golf? You know you're fascinating to talk to, Brian. Other than the innuendos, you and Lettuce have to shut that down like a pair of naughty kids at the back of the classroom. I need to jump on a live stream at home, but the internet connection's just so iffy there. It just ends up being an exercise in frustration. Like, not once has there been a problem with the quality today. By the way, the internet here, it's not fibre. The internet here is running into a phone line that's connected to the original 1930s copper from the site when this was a fucking airbase up to a phone exchange out on the main road. And this is the internet. Why can't GigaClear make it work more than 10 feet from my house? 10 feet from the router, I should say. Drives me nuts. Can't get a Ford birth certificate. They didn't keep the info. That doesn't surprise me. They are a pain in the ass for stuff like that. Heritage certificate from Heritage Motor Centre. It would be basic at that age. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do some digging. Golf, X magazine car, purple with a 16 valve Corrado engine, single wiper and Mark II dash. That sounds very cool. Shell's absolutely right. Has it, by any chance, gone where the rear axle bolts up to the body, and has it gone all the way up the sides of the fuel tank? Because they love to do that. The Mark II, there are very few places where the Mark II rots. They're not that bad for rot, but when they rot, it's just under the driver's side door mirror, every time without fail, for some reason. Either side of the rear axle mounts up and over the fuel tank, another favourite. The dog leg at the front of the rear arches, obviously. The leading edge of the bonnet, I've seen a few go. And the filler neck and the inner arch where the filler neck comes down, you got that little shelf. That's where the Mark II Rocco likes to go. But yeah, it seems invariable that if you've got rot somewhere, you're going to have rot around the rear chassis legs. Don't know why. Thankfully, they still make repair panels for them. Although they've got fucking expensive. When I did Gladys, those panels were £20 a pop. It just goes to show how old I am, doesn't it? The owners of that red one, when they came down here yesterday, we were chatting for ages. And yeah, it was an exercise in feeling old. But how much prices have gone up and parts that you couldn't get anymore back in the day, which is how I learned to fix things because you couldn't buy them, versus now they're having them 3D printed, which just wasn't a thing when I started working on these. It makes me feel like a right old fart. Good Lord. Anyway, would I consider doing a Mark II Scirocco buying guide type beat? Yes, I think. But I don't want to mow Tom at Dreadnought Customs lawn because he did a very good buying guide. But yeah, I think I'm going to. Mostly as to add to it rather than be like, out of the way. Everybody watch my video instead. But there was a few bits that I felt he missed. So yeah, I think I probably will. Trying to think what else I'm planning on doing. I've got Saturday Club. I need to film some more Saturday Club bits today, actually. What am I up to now? What have I gotten up to? That's my B-roll list. Discussion about fuel and additives, security, parking, defensive driving, braking distance, wet weather on aquaplaning, keeping them clean, and steering feel. That's all that's left to do, and then that Saturday Club video is Dunyan Rings. But I actually feel a little bit guilty filming them not on a Saturday because it feels like a bit of a mug off. The whole point is that it's a Saturday. But with that said, depends how much Nigel cooperates today, because if Nigel helps me to continue to kick ass today, then fingers crossed, because he had a strip of welding about that long, about that wide to do on the floor that ended up creeping out up the inner sill and out the floor pan, up the outer sill, that ended up being a hole about that big. So we got that done today. Got the steering rack gaiters done today. Sorted the headlight aim. Yeah. So the last bit to do, we're going to go and have a look now, is handbrake. And then book him in for an MOT, and then I think I might finally be starting to get back on track. So, that was a perfect time to Skive, wasn't it? I am running out of today. I need to get my ass in gear. 4:20. I enjoy chatting to you guys, what can I say? This always happens. Every day is a Saturday if you Skive hard enough. Absolutely. You guys have done a great job of skiving, by the way. There are 29 of you currently skiving, just so you know. So you're not alone. There's 29 other people skiving off work. Actually, 30 when you count me. So yeah, invariably these live streams start out, they're supposed to be short and quick, and yeah, invariably we end up talking for hours on end. It's for watching on a Saturday, not for filming on a Saturday. Basic welding would be good too, yeah, absolutely. Different types or special classic equipment to buy, and then how to practice. Good luck. That would be cool. The only thing with welding, and you'll notice it's absent from my videos whenever I do welding, is I only ever show the end result. I'm sorry, you're not going to like this if you are a welder. Welders are some of the most arrogant, condescending people on the face of the earth, just under sprayers, for the most part. And if I put up video of me welding, despite it being completely serviceable, strong, neat, tidy, quite comfortably able to be painted, and everybody go down the road happy, I will still, for some inexplicable reason, end up getting crucified. End up getting absolutely crucified. I can weld. I look at Albert. Like, I know my way around a welder. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm the best welder in the world. And if it's going to be structurally sound, I'd far rather it be a little bit ugly than pretty and not as strong as it possibly could be. But for some reason, welders and painters are two of the first fucking people to be like, you've done that wrong. You're a cowboy. Boss man, I hate to tell you this, I really do. We're sticking bits of metal together. You have to grind down eventually anyway. You cannot reliably, they are camp ones, exactly that. So in case you guys are ever wondering, the reason that I don't show my welding process, or I don't show the end result until I've finished it, as in I've put all the, I've ground it down, seam sealer, and then under seal or whatever. The reason for that is because all I'm going to get is a load of shit. Because everything you do, if you're doing it on the internet, you're doing it wrong. But for example, Do you know what? I'm going to show you guys. I'm among friends here. So, Nigel, we flip the camera and get a torch. So, Nigel's drying right now, but Nigel had a gaping hole in his floor. This is MOT welding on a classic that's going to get dailied. That is tidy enough, and I haven't even put any paint or underseal on it yet. Oh, you little bastard, there's another bit there. Fucking hell, Nigel. Okay, well, I still can get the welder back out again, doesn't it? I'm glad I showed you guys that, because I wouldn't have wanted that to get missed. They didn't notice it on the end. Was that rot, or was that fucking old underseal? Trouble is, the whole car has been plastered. The whole car's been plastered in underseal. No, it's underseal. Oh, fair. All right. I won't worry about that then. I will give it a little hammer test. But, yeah. Anyway, perfectly serviceable bit of welding. It's a flaw on a Mini that gets dailied. Like somebody said in the comments just now. Yep, as long as it's strong. Precisely. As long as it's strong. That's all that matters. And it's definitely strong. I just want him gone now. Lovely little car. Lovely little car. But just... he likes to come here and hang out. He's one of them guys that won't take the hint, you know? People show up and you're like, it's nice to see you. Like I've said before, oh, hello, what's this? My phone completely went out of focus then. It's like the Germans. They've got an excellent saying for it. Totally socially acceptable to say it as well. They say, I am feeling visited enough. And that's how... used to love getting a Mini and counting the overseals. Yeah, they constantly need overseals. Constantly. But I just... so... that down there is, for example, why I always, if a floor needs welding, I go in from above. Because that's not very kind on you guys, is it, that lighting? I go in from above because it's so much easier to clean everything down. You can see what you're doing. You're not laid up underneath, getting spatter in your face, all hot little bits of metal going in your ear. And you've got a knackered Mini in the garage, Lettuce. Then you definitely need to stop skiving and go and get it ready. I didn't know you had a Mini. That's cool. Yeah, so that's why I weld all floors and stuff like that in from above, because you can get better lay of the land and it looks so much neater. For example, again, I did this. Where's my fucking torch? The other side, it was a floor failure. And this corner, sorry, right, that, obviously he's been out and about since. I had to weld in from about here to about there, up to here, and along to about there. There is not a drop of filler anywhere on that repair, but I guarantee you, there's at least one dickhead out there on the internet now. If I showed me doing that, they'd be so busy telling me that I'm doing it wrong that they wouldn't think what the end product looks like. Oh, the floor. Where is the floor repair? You know you've done a half-decent job and you can't find your own fucking repair. I think it is about here, if I had to hazard a guess. But that ended up being about that wide. So yeah, but I do all this in from above. Also, another handy thing about doing this from above, lay the torch on the floor like that and you can see any pinholes. You can fill them in, grind it back. Happy days. But yeah, like I say, I would consider that to be a perfectly serviceable and presentable weld. But invariably, I'm not doing it their way, therefore I'm doing it wrong. Some of the most insecure people on the planet. Right, on that mini rant. Oh, organisers. On that mini rant! Did you hear that? Anyway, so many people on the web go mad if you underseal stuff in black too. It's not their car though, is it? No, it's not their car. And additionally, the entire car is undersealed in black underseal anyway. And it's just been like that for 25 years. So it's gone that like grey brown colour that they go. So the fresh underseal needs to bed in. Who slapped their own forehead? Is that over the mini pun? My bad. Hello, DRC Woody Boy 77. How are you? It's a flying visit for me as well. You've landed just as I'm about to sign off, unfortunately. Yeah, it's been an hour and 10-minute live stream where we're skiving off work. I wasn't supposed to be the one skiving off work, but you guys are very interesting to talk to, and I invariably end up far more interested in what you guys are saying than rolling around on my back breathing in brake dust. Lanagard is not bad if you can deal with the smell. It fucking stinks like musty washing. It's the most disgusting smelling stuff in the world. They used to have a bay for it at This Is Your Garage. They had like a special bay for well, not a special bay, but the bay where undersealing and stuff was done. And it was vile stuff, man. It just made the whole... I used to do property maintenance. And you could always tell if a tenant had left washing in their washing machine with the door shut. That smell. And you used to make the entirety of This Is Your Garage smell like that. So I've got a natural predisposition of not being keen on Lanagard, mostly because of the stink. But yeah, it's not. It fucking stinks. The power shit at TM be like, yeah, exactly. MOT chap recommended ACF 50. What, for fittings? Where's my can? God damn. I've lost him. Oh no, there we go. Can't recommend that stuff enough. Again, not sponsored. Won't ever get into a position where I'll be sponsored by anybody. So if I say something's good, it's because I use it and I like it. You never need to worry about that. I got given that can of ACF 50 and it's the bollocks. I was absolutely gobsmacked. I first came across that stuff on a Corvette and I had to do the arms and all the bushes. God, I'm looking for a Budweiser, be like, cheeky fucker. It's true though, isn't it? Yeah, I had to do all the arms and bushes on the front of a C3 Corvette. And it was supposed to have been done by another garage who charged the customer over fucking 10 grand to do the work. Anyway, because they hadn't done the work, they also hadn't noticed that all the arm mounts were falling off the car because all the spot welds bar one had snapped both sides. So, you know, if they'd done their job, then this guy, well, the fact they didn't do this job meant that it was very, very possible that the customer would have been killed because the whole bottom arm would have come off the car. Long story short, obviously those bolts like to rust in, especially when they've been on there since 1974. So I sprayed some ACF 50 on them because I didn't have any other penetrant, to be honest. That's the only reason I used it. And it was late doors. I'm like, hello, phone, thank you. I was like, I really, really don't fancy this at all. I'm going home. I'll come back fresh first thing tomorrow morning because there's nothing worse than if you've overexerted yourself late doors trying to get a job done, then not got it done. You then have to do it all tomorrow with aches and pains. And fuck, does that ever slow you down? I'll come in tomorrow. I came in tomorrow and this ACF 50 was dripping off the threads. The other side of the fastener that I was trying to undo. Overnight, it had crept down the threads. And I'm not joking, I did it all with hand tools. Just everything came undone with spanners and ratchets. They are. That's why I use it. It's a good product. Nobody has to pay me to tell you that something's good. Put it that way. Meanwhile, have I got any shit products in here just to balance it out? I feel like a bit of a shill if I'm going to stand here and tell everybody that certain things are the bollocks. It makes it sound a bit like... Have I got anything shit in here? I think I've gotten to a good stage now where I've sort of whittled down the products that I fucking hate using because they're no good. Anything? What tins of... okay. I buy a lot of stuff from Halfords, right? This isn't an anti-Halfords rant. This stuff is shit. It reacts with everything. Throw it in the bin. Better yet, don't buy it anyway. And then you ain't got to... Yeah, ACF 50. That was a very long story short type situation, wasn't it? Also, I don't know if... Have I showed you guys the outtake of me trying to use this on one of Albert's tyres? Because if not, I'll have to bang it into the Patreon at some point. I bought a couple of cans of this, and I can't for the life of me remember why. This came in handy the other day when the Rascal showed up, because it's on... One of the things we need to do on the Rascal is get my fucking tarantulas back. I've got a set of Mark 1 Golf tarantulas, which I'm giving to Logan for the GL. These boys. But they were on the Rascal for a while, and one of them is still on the Rascal because it's fused. So anyway, that's got a big puncture. I say it's a big puncture. It's dry rotted, so it's just leaking air, oozing air. And yeah, sprayed a load of that Holt's tyre weld shit in it. And obviously it's going to suck when I have to do the tyre, but it worked. It's still sat out there on a tyre full of air. So nice one. Svensson 19. I've just realised what the time is also. I'm into the realms of not getting Nigel done today now because I've been skiving for an hour. So it's very naughty of me. Right, guys, genuinely thank you for watching. As always, it's been fascinating chatting to you, and I might do another one of these at some point. It only occurred to me while I was here that I've got a perfectly good internet connection. Maybe I could try doing a live stream. So yeah, nice. I'll catch up with you soon. I'm just going to leave you with a nice shot of the brookie. Looking lovely. Taru, thanks for watching. See you later.